Hey everybody out there, I want to welcome you back over to the channel, the Initial DEXP. I am your host and will forever be your host. Even though I go on a hiatus, I will forever be your host. Even though sometimes it may seem like I'm a ghost, I will forever be your host. Initial D. What is good, folks? I feel like it has been literally forever since I have made a actual video for this particular channel. I've been putting up shorts, and it's even been probably about 10, almost 2 weeks since I've put up an actual short on this channel. So you'd have to forgive me, please. I really have the intentions of making content, but you know, IRL has this thing about bossing around my time, and that little bit of extra time in which I do have to do things like this, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. I want to chill, take my time, or give that time to my family, because they are pretty important people too. But no, any extra time that I get basically goes to my family, and very little time to do things with this channel here, and even more so, very little time to make content in other places. Hint, switch. So I made an announcement yesterday on my Twitter account that I was taking a back seat from live streaming for various different reasons. I just felt like it was time for me to not say goodbye, but to just go ahead and sit back and watch other people do their thing and focus on way more important things in my life. Getting things done in which I should have gotten done last year, but because I did not get them done, things are starting to come about now to where my acknowledgement of them is tenfold, and my attention needs to be on that stuff before I can even think about making any more content as far as live streaming, that is. But in this particular video, that's not important. So it's okay, it's not important, but I will be back. Let's just throw that out there. I don't want people to think, oh no, he's going away, he's never gonna come back. I just said it 3 times. I'll be back. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I'll be back, okay? Take my word for it. This video is not about me, but it's more so experiences in which I have endured over the last year and 3 months or so. These pitfalls in which I found myself in, and I feel like I've climbed out of. This is more so for newer streamers out here who may just be starting. Maybe you have stumbled upon this YouTube video or that YouTube video or that one back there, because I know when I first started streaming, I was all over YouTube. How to get more viewers, how to make your audio sound professional, how to not drop frames. What are frames? Because there was a point in time I didn't know what the heck frames were. I did not know, and I still am not that tech savvy still to this day, but I digress. Nonetheless, there were mistakes that I made, and I don't want newer streamers out here to make those same mistakes in which I made, because the fact is, if you make mistakes, very few people are going to tell you that you've made a mistake. More people are just going to sit there and kind of just, you know, look down at you like, yeah, look at him over there wallowing in the filth. Yeah, you know, that's just how people are. Just like they won't tell you that there are boogers in your nose, or they won't tell you got something on your face, or just let you walk around like you're the most beautiful thing in the world, but you're flawed because you have something on your face. Come on, people, we got to do better. We've got to do better. Come on, let's do better. 3 pitfalls in which you can avoid when it comes to live streaming. Number 1, your quality of life can take a deficit. So what am I talking about? Quality of life taking a deficit. I found myself on Twitch from morning throughout the day while I was on the clock, all the way up until I went to bed. supporting people, commenting on people's stuff, trying my best to network with individuals, because this is what they tell you that you need to do to grow. Network. Get out there and mingle. Get out there and talk. No one's going to know you unless you put your name out there. If we can't see you, no one knows you exist. So I did my darndest and my best to make sure that everybody knew the name of Initial D. And I think I did a pretty darn good job at it too. For a whole year and 3 months, that's what I did. But as I look back on the previous year, there's so many things that I did not do that I did in 2020. Like, there was less time of me going outside, playing around with my kids, playing football, going outside just to exercise. There were less trips to the park. There were less time periods of us sitting down reading these stories that we used to read or playing imagination. There was a lot of things in which I was sacrificing, all because of live streaming. I know some people are, oh, you're such a bad father. No. Trust me, I love my kids very much. And I do spend time with them every single day. But before I began live streaming, we were like this, and we played video games together. A lot of that stopped because Daddy's focus changed, and I began to take what I do here very, very seriously. And honestly, it probably got a little bit more serious than it probably should have. And I know that there are some streamers out there that can relate to me. You know, there's some things in which you may notice that you're not doing anymore because you're so engulfed into the world of live streaming. I was just talking to a Twitch streamer yesterday. He was telling me, yeah, man, live streaming, he's a partner. Live streaming can consume you if you're not careful. Twitch can consume you if you're not careful. And admittedly, that's exactly what it did to me. So I'm just happy, you know, that I reached the point of stepping back and realizing, man, I gotta get up out of this pit. I have to do something. My time is valuable. So around I'd say going into about the December, into the wintertime moments, I started saying, you know, I'm not going to be on Twitch as much. I'm going to pull back from supporting because I'm sick and tired of sitting at my computer. I'm sick and tired of having my phone in my hands. I'm sick and tired of being in all of these Discords. I need to take my behind outside and do something to get out there and mingle. And that's exactly what I've been doing, like, for the last couple of months. I've been having more meetings with friends, catching up with lunch, just talking about business, all different type of things to basically promote the quality of life when it comes to living, because a lot of people get so consumed with supporting and live streaming that the internet is their life, and they have no social life outside of live streaming, Twitch, social media. That's not good, because live streaming could be gone tomorrow. What are you going to do? Do not fall in that pitfall. Make sure that you put boundaries into place so that you don't end up like I did. But like I said, thank God I woke up, but that doesn't have to be you. Be careful. Number 2, your expectations for success will always be higher than the reality. Let me say that again. Your expectations for your success will always be higher than reality. I can tell you right now, you're not always going to grow at a rapid rate. There are some streamers out here who are an anomaly, which means that when they started streaming, people loved them instantaneously, and they generated an audience based on this or something about their gameplay. There was just something special about that individual, and they just skyrocket. A streamer by the name of Biggie Sweats comes to mind. He turned into a Twitch partner in less than a year. Like, you don't see that often. Some people have been streaming for 6 years and still have not got to that point. But everyone can't be a Biggie Sweats, and please trust me. Like I said, they come a dime a dozen. But the reality is that your success is not going to come the way that you think. A lot of the growth of your average can do this, and then the next moment it does this. And then sometimes it may go a little bit further, and then it may come back up just a little bit, and then it may do this. So many people have attached their identity to their average that they cannot understand that growth is not linear in the world of live streaming. People fall off, people stop watching you, people, for whatever reason. Maybe they got sick, maybe they got a new job. I know that during the pandemic, there were like 9 million users on Twitch. And now that people are going back to work, there's around 7.5 million users now. So people are preoccupied. And to be honest with you, that number probably is going to go down a little bit further as time goes on. So don't think that just because you start streaming and you get a little bit of traction, that traction is just going to continue trajectorying up, because it's not true. It happens to every single streamer. It even happens to me as well. Also, people will always tell you that you have to support other streamers in order to get support. Now, I am not for support, follow for follow, none of that stuff. We don't get down with that. But I do believe that we are to support those other content creators in which we love and we genuinely want to see successful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. But just be careful, because sometimes you can support people, certain people, and it's not always going to come back to you. And I've known people to get into their feelings or verbalize as far as, well, I support this person, but I don't get support back. I support 20 people and one person, 2 people only come to my stream. That's the nature of the beast. No one owes you anything when it comes to live streaming. Nobody. No one owes you a thing. Always remember that. Be grateful for everything that comes your way, but don't expect anything. Your audience will grow organically over time, but you can't force it. And the last thing is, like I said, your expectations will always be higher than the reality. Frustration sets in after a while. You're working hard, you're making visible content, you're streaming 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, which I think is too much, but I digress. Frustration sets in. And at this point, a lot of streamers end up throwing in the towel. So if you don't want to throw in the towel, pump the brakes a little bit. Do the speed limit. Support who it is you want to support. Don't come into this game expecting the world when you're just a speck in the universe. The last pitfall of live streaming is something in which I took personal, because I really felt it last year. And that is the fun factor of gaming taking a decline. I've talked to so many streamers who have felt me on this subject when they say that, you know, ever since I started streaming, I don't really have that much fun playing video games. Because before streaming, I used to just sit in here and just play the game by myself. No pressure to talk, no pressure to perform, no pressure to entertain. Just me and my PlayStation 4 playing whatever title in which I wanted to play. If we're not careful, you can lose the fun factor of playing video games because of live streaming. Every streamer will tell you that you will not be at peak performance per se when you're live streaming. You're just not going to be at peak performance because your attention is here, 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 and then over there on the game. So you're not going to be as sharp, and you're not even going to really enjoy it as much. Now, I'm not speaking for every streamer. There may be some streamers out here that may have the exception to the rule. But I know I've watched people play particular games and they're so busy talking to the people that are in the chat that they've paused the game for 20 minutes, or they're sitting in the same spot for 5 extra minutes trying to, you know, catch up with their chat. It's just really hard to enjoy the video games. And I know for me, ever since I've started streaming, I think I've played less video games last year than I've played in my entire life, to be honest with you. And I've completed very little of those games on stream. So I know that during this hiatus that I'm going on, that I'm going to be enjoying my video games once again like I used to before I decide to come back. But I do feel that that is the third pitfall when it comes to live streaming. You can lose the fun factor of video games. Look, the end of this video is here. I really appreciate everyone out there's support. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're going to try to provide more content on this channel as time goes on. So since I'm not going to be live streaming anymore, I've got to have some sort of outlet. So you can probably expect more YouTube videos to be coming your way. Thank you very much, everybody out there. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. Peace.